Hey everybody, welcome to the Cosmic panel. We're
Actually,
gonna get into week
can
what?
we just not do polls this week? I really want to actually talk about anime if that's cool with you.
What?
Um, yeah, no, I've been reading a lot more JJK. Been watching the anime a ton. I just really want to talk about some future abilities, some cool stuff that's going to be featured. I thought it'd be really fun. Like, did you know Hikari? This cool character that's going to be introduced next season is called Hikari, and his whole ability is basically just a giant pachinko machine where he forces you to play. And if he wins, he actually just gets unlimited regen abilities. So he's kind of like Wolverine in a way. It's pretty cool. It's a lottery like gambling power system, but it's pretty fun. But also there's also like Yuta who just has a copycat ability. Oh, I mean, you guys are interested, right? Like you guys listen to me, right?
2 weeks later.
Hey guys, welcome to the Cosmic Panel, where today we're going to be doing our weekly polls for December 6th. We are already in the great holiday season. Mariah Carey, the horrific Eldritch Terror is already free, and we are running away screaming. Anyway, Elias, what's your first pick?
My first pick for this week is going to be the Sentry #1. While I'm not familiar with this creative team, I am a huge Sentry fan, and the premise of this one sounds very interesting. So basically, the Sentry, as we know it, is dead. I think following up on the Absolute Carnage, or rather the King in Black storyline. But Bob is sort of manifesting in other people's lives, it looks like. So very interesting premise. I'm very curious to see what this series is gonna bring.
Yeah, no. It should be very interesting, especially because the fact that we last time we saw Sentry was he went to Valhalla. That was like a major plot point. Um, and also another thing that I find very interesting is that the fact that Donny Cates actually regrets killing off the Sentry because apparently he didn't research the character beforehand, and he literally said like I regret using that character as a gauge for Null because it really he really shouldn't have died, which is kind of nuts to hear from a creative like that. But yeah, no, I also don't recognize anybody on this team, but it's giving me some Marvel family like Shazam family vibes. So I'm pretty excited to see what's going to happen.
The reference, I guess, was just like because Sentry ripped apart Carnage that one time that he thought it would be haha funny to have Null rip apart Sentry.
Yeah, I
So I
guess
don't know.
so.
It's kind of silly. What's your first pick for this week?
My first pick is Thunderbolts #1. Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly are finally going to be able to continue the story that they kind of started in the Captain America series. I'm actually really happy that they're able to continue this, even in this form. Um, but yeah, we're getting Bucky Barnes as the Revolution still, and basically now he's basically dealing with the fact that now he's the only one at the table at the circle now, and he's going to be going after people that he deems too dangerous to let like stay around. So right now, uh, they're going to be going after Red Skull, Kingpin, and Doctor Doom. So pretty crazy list of characters they want to kill, and I'm excited to see who's going to be on the team. To be honest,
This is a very interesting book to inherit the name Thunderbolts. Um,
especially after
not
the
so
last
sh-
one.
Yeah, no, so I'm a little. I don't know about that part of it, but no, I love this concept and getting more Bucky um, as the Revolution. So I'm very excited about that. And I already saw the lineup from previews, and it's a very eclectic lineup. So I'm going to be very interested to see how Bucky recruits all these characters.
Yeah, I'm really hyped, especially because I really did feel like Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly were kind of stopped before they could really hit
Yeah,
a deeper stride, at least on the Captain America run. So any continuation of this circle storyline in any way, I'm excited for.
yeah.
What's next up for you?
Next up for me is going to be Avengers #8. This is the arc that I was waiting for from this series, which is what they're calling Twilight Dreaming. This is Mirrodin and the Twilight Court, who were adversaries of Kang in the Timeless special from 2023 now. So, yeah, basically, last issue, Nightmare entranced the Avengers. I'm assuming the Twilight Court hired him to do that or something. But it was just like a little, kind of Scarlet Witch sequence, little dream sequence, nightmare sequence, and now we're getting the real thing. So these guys, they want Kang dead, and I'm excited to get more Kang development because it's a pretty big deal that the Avengers have decided to protect their longtime foe. So yeah,
Yeah, plus we're going to be doing another Timeless special very shortly. So and if you didn't know, Kang is currently in a coma. So I'll be
and it's
interested to see how they're going to explain that, to be honest.
and it's not a Jed McKay written timeless special either. So and it looks to be focusing on something completely different. So either it won't be very related and it'll still set up some stuff for next year, but more likely than not, it's not even going to touch upon the current Kang situation.
Yeah. Definitely very interested though.
What's next up for you?
Next up for me is Poison Ivy number 17. 16 for me was such a great follow-up issue after all the kind of in between time, I feel like, since we kind of dealt with the original arc, basically. The original problem that Ivy came to, which was, do I kill the human race and save nature, or do I let nature die and then save the human race just to prolong it for a little bit longer? And now her actions in the first arc of spreading the spores are now coming back to bite her. They've evolved, and they're basically turning people into these weird fungus zombies that are all coming to Gotham to basically worship her. So I'm very, very excited to see what's going to happen, because Ivy's, I think, going to realize just how much she has ruined the lives of people with this single thing. And yeah, it's definitely going to be hard for her to deal with.
Yeah, I hope this issue culminates in something big because right now there's a horde of infected heading for Gotham. So I hope there's some cool, you know, um, big impact from this problem coming up very soon.
Yeah. What's next for you?
Next up for me is going to be Birds of Prey number 4. This is honestly one of my favorite DC series right now. Between the eclectic team and the team dynamic, this has just been a blast. Last issue, they were trying to distract Wonder Woman from realizing what they were doing on Themyscira,
Didn't work.
and didn't quite work. So yeah, this is a pretty um, big operation that they were trying to run, but um, it was pretty crazy trying to see Green Arrow fight off Diana like that.
Yeah, I found it hilarious when he turned her into a bunch of butterflies and he's like, okay, I got her. And then literally the next second she's already in Themyscira.
Yeah,
But I'm actually genuinely, I actually don't know who would win between Big Barda and Wonder Woman. I'm actually kind of, for once, kind of stuck. Which is kind of wild to say. I genuinely don't know who would win. But then again, she doesn't have her weapon, so I guess it really depends.
I feel like they must have clashed in like Dark Side War or something, right?
Not off the top of my head. At least not off the dome. I can't remember, but I
Mm-hmm.
mean, Big Barda is such a heavy hitter. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so they've gotten Black Canary's sister out of the building, but obviously not off of Themyscira. So, and she didn't seem very concerned to be there, So I'm very curious to see the explanation of why she thought she was there. Um, but yeah, Very solid series.
Yeah. Love the art too. Especially
Yeah,
love the art.
yeah, very solid. What's next up for you?
Next up for me is another indie book, The Hunger and the Dusk, number 4. Issue really love how we're kind of getting the time to really build out these characters while also still building out the world. Um, the main threat feels real, the main characters feel real, and it feels like everything is going to culminate in something. So, very very excited.
This is Kelly Thompson, right?
No, G. Willow Wilson.
Oh, G. Willow Wilson.
Yeah.
I was like, it was one
Um,
of the other writers we were talking about today.
yeah.
Cool.
So, yeah, no, G. Willow Wilson on Poison Ivy and on Hunger and Dusk. So, just still killing it.
Cool.
What's next for you?
Next up for me is Invisible Iron Man number 13. Still one of the strongest Fall of X books, I would definitely say. Um, last issue, we had Ironheart return to the fray, and basically he needs Riri's help to make this Mysterium armor, as we find out. But also, she brought him I guess, some pin particles to shrink War Machine's armor down
It was so funny.
and deliver it to him in prison so that he makes sure he's definitely safe. So that was cool.
Yeah, no, I like that he's kind of taking precautions before he heads out into space. So, pretty smart. Um, but also, I'm not gonna lie, Riri was such a bitch for immediately going, okay, well, you're not letting me in. I'm gonna use one of my fucking rings to
Yeah,
brainwash you. Like, bro,
kind of
like
just
chill.
proves that she shouldn't have those like immediately.
Yeah, like what the fuck, man? Like, why was that your first instead of just calling Tony?
I mean, it just shows that it's very easy to abuse the powers of the Mandarin rings, basically.
Yeah.
Anything like that, like that anything that powerful, people are gonna like go power hungry over, basically.
Yeah, I still don't like that she has them, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, hopefully there's some bigger plan for why she has them, or some end goal there. Because right now she's just like seems a little cuckoo.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know when we're gonna see this armor, but I feel like it's got to be before the end of Fall of X, or maybe like the very end of Fall of X before we get into the rise and fall of House and Powers. So
I'm
pretty excited.
curious, what color scheme do you think it's gonna have?
I mean, I love this stealth armor, just defying like the typical color scheme, like being gray, black, and green is so cool. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like they have to return to some sort of red and gold situation, maybe
I
with a
would
third
love
color
red and
thrown in.
silver, personally.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be a nice blend between the stealth and his modern armor. I feel like it
Yeah,
could be like a symbol basically that he's changed.
that would be cool for sure.
Plus I'm a sucker for silver centurion armor. So
Yeah, yeah. What is next for you?
next up for me is Transformers number 3. Number 2 was so fucking good. It was so good. It was somehow even better than the first issue, which is crazy for me to say. Um, for me, issue 2 started off so strong. It started off with such a simple scene of just Optimus Prime looking out at Earth and just admiring its beauty, and then accidentally killing a creature and just feeling awful for it. And him realizing that he's he and his kind are dangerous to this planet. They're not going to promote safety with the way that they live, with the likelihood of them probably crushing and killing multiple creatures and plants and etc. And it's this really heartwarming moment where he talks to Spike and he feels fucking awful. And Spike is like, "Hey man, like we get it, like it was an accident. Like you have to understand, like you guys are fucking huge." But it's like little moments like that for me that really really make me love Optimus Prime because God, the Michael Bay series fucking slaughters his characterization. The amount of times where Michael Bay's Optimus Prime threatens to fucking murder someone or like straight up just kills another Decepticon, like rips their face apart or some shit. It's like Optimus from the cartoon and the comics never would have done that. Like literally never. Like he his whole character thing is like the sanctity of life. Like I must protect that. And so seeing this, it just reassures me even further that Daniel Warren Johnson, man, he knows these characters, he knows what he wants to do, and I'm so along for the ride.
Very curious to see what this arc will culminate in, because right now it seems very much like Decepticons or Autobots are gonna win, because like they're just vying for power sources at this point, and the
Yeah.
Autobots are in dire straits. Like they don't have much to power them right now, so it's pretty rough. So I don't know how this is gonna conclude, but yeah, this has been a lot of fun so far, and I'm excited to get some answers.
Yeah.
I'm also
Um
excited for this to start to cross over with the other titles too, because I think that's what's going to happen when Void Rivals comes back, and I'm just itching um, for that interconnectivity kind of thing.
yeah, no. I'm definitely excited with this new universe and Duke being teased at the end of the last issue was was interesting because now I'm actually kind of excited for the GI Joe book, which I genuinely didn't think I would say that.
That for me still has to prove itself, but I'll be curious to see how they intertwine the two.
Yeah. Anyway, what's your final pick?
My final pick for this week is, of course, X Men number 29. This is a very cool issue in which we will see Doom's own team of mutants that hail from Latveria. This is a brand new concept, as far as I know. Um, so, of course, I'm sure they will try and have a logical conversation with Doom, and Doom will be like, "Shut up, you're stupid," and then that will be the beginning of a fight. But yeah, I'm very curious to see what these mutants, what powers they hold, and if Doom is at all interested in, siding with the mutants, siding with Orcus, or if, as always, he's just gonna side with himself.
Yeah, no, definitely interested to see what's gonna happen because yeah, no, last issue ended with that cliffhanger, and I was actually pretty excited to see. I want to know what these characters are. I've never met them, so definitely interested to see what their powers are and how powerful they are. Because I mean, I would assume that they're pretty powerful if Doom is allowing them to be in this country. To be honest,
Yeah, big time. Realm and Miss Marvel just ended. The Fall of X books are starting to wrap up, and X Men is going to be, one of the few titles that's going to just be a through line into the house, into the rise and fall of the House and Powers. But I'm just, excited to start to see the character development that we saw in the miniseries come into the main X Men book.
wait, Miss Marvel's ending
That's
at
what I was
four
saying.
issues.
Yeah, it ended.
Oh, I didn't realize. Okay.
Yeah, Realm and Miss Marvel are both over.
Oh, I thought there were 5 issues for some reason. I don't know why.
Some of them were four, some of them were five.
Hmm.
But yeah, they did different amounts. But yeah, I'm just excited to start to see the reflections of the culminations of those limited series make their way into the X Men book, because obviously this is going to be an important book in this in the coming months. Lucas, what is your final pick?
My final pick is an indie book I honestly did not expect to enjoy as much as I did. Knights issue number 3. Read issue 1 and 2, and I really fell in love with the world. A world that kind of is like our own, but also is used to supernatural creatures like Dracula, ghosts, and like stuff like that. Is very very fun, and all the characters so far seem very entertaining. Gray is super fun. Vince, our main character, is very personable. And then also, like, on top of that, we also have uh what's his name, the cousin who's a mercenary, and then the one other roommate who's literally a ghost. So all of them have their different quirks, and I really do enjoy it. And so far, I am so down for this like slice of life type of storytelling, um, from a creative team that I really didn't know. Wyatt Kennedy and Luigi Formisano are two creatives that I really don't know. So this is my first ever endeavor into their stuff. But yeah, no, very, very excited. And I've been loving this book so far.
Yeah, this is very interesting. I hope that this is a confirmed ongoing because there's definitely a lot to explore in this world. Yeah, the roommate got killed by the creature that we saw in issue 2. He got killed by one of those, um, which was just like a
Nice mystery.
horrifying amalgamation of different creatures and faces that it had killed. um, but yeah, I liked the second issue more than the first personally, just purely because of the dialogue between the mole and Vince. I thought that was just very well written,
The
very well
mole was
done,
pretty funny.
and they did like a flash forward at the end of issue 1, which I'm curious to see what that's all about as well.
I
Um,
kind of wish they waited for the flash forward into issue 2, to be honest.
yeah, I agree. I think they were trying to, ensure future readers, and they were like, they threw that at the end to just be like, watch out for this, like this is coming up. So I understand what they were doing there, but yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with you. But yeah, the first issue was definitely like a lot to set up, and they were definitely like throwing you right into it. But again, this world is very interesting, has a lot of potential, and it's cool to see humanity so casually coincide, coexist rather, with supernatural creatures.
Vampire pizza delivery. Let's go.
Yeah.
So stupid. Um, Also, I just checked Wyatt Kennedy's bibliography, and he's only ever worked on one other actual ongoing or not ongoing, actual series, which was Bolero, which released last year. Other than that, he did a short story, three short stories for Image, that Image anthology series, and that's it. That's his entire bibliography. So this is for him a relatively new thing, getting more solo series basically.
And it's interesting to me what they decide to put under the Skybound imprint and what they don't. And this is not Skybound. This is, even though it's like a brand new series, so that's kind of surprising to me. But
Anyway, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed the books for this week. Tell us what polls you're getting down below. Remember to like, subscribe, support your local comic shop, and read comics. Till next time.